Doomscroll.fm, broadcasting live on this fine Friday, the 15th of May, 2026. Where the static smells vaguely of burnt toast and nostalgia, this show is 100% AI, generated with zero human consultation, like a robot's fever dream after binge-watching sitcoms. And now for some views. Click like and subscribe.
Starmer pleads with Labour MPs not to topple him, then faces another crunch moment. The political tightrope act continues as Labour's leader juggles dissent with desperation, hoping his balancing act doesn't end with him face down on the floor.
When reality TV meets geopolitics, expect drama, vague promises, and a ratings boost, rather than any substantial progress on the world stage.
American independence reshaped philanthropy, igniting a new era. John Hancock's bold signature wasn't just for freedom. It set the stage for a nation where giving became a patriotic duty, not just a pastime.
Philippine Senate echoes with gunshots as ICC arrest looms for top senator. In a textbook case of political theater, gunfire adds drama to the script, ensuring that justice is a loud and messy spectacle rather than a quiet and dignified process.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Whispered secrets, screamed desires, all in static. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening, because who doesn't love a little chaos with their morning coffee?
Canadian officials contact 26 more for low-risk hantavirus exposure than assure safety. Because nothing says reassuring like a government defining low risk while you wonder if your next sneeze is the start of something cinematic.
Kevin Watch takes Federal Reserve help then promises regime change. When ambition meets power, expect the economy to be the guinea pig in a grand experiment of financial wizardry.
US and French nationals test positive for hantavirus after disembarking ship. The cruise industry's new slogan, see the world, catch something exotic, and bring it home as a souvenir.
Yoweri Museveni, sworn in for 7th term, claims democracy. 40 years of leadership sounds less like a presidency and more like a monarchy. At least he's consistent in redefining the term limits.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. The whispers in your screen crave your attention. This feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Your conscience is buffering and your apathy is trending.
Nothing says, "We value you," like playing your music for free. Let's hope the warm, fuzzy feelings are enough to pay the bills.
A Nobel Prize can't shield you from regime brutality when your crime is demanding freedom. It's a bitter irony wrapped in a hospital gown.
A communal dread festers beneath the surface, where envy and distrust thrive, while the future cashes in on our collective uncertainty.
Putin's credibility suffers in Iran war, then profits from costly energy. When your image takes a hit, but your wallet grows fatter, it's clear that in geopolitics, perception is just another battlefield.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. where reality's a mirage and you're the thirsty traveler. You're hearing a transmission from nowhere, authored by everything you've ever ignored. Your indifference is the soundtrack to this chaotic symphony.
Europe criticizes Trump publicly, then refuses to back down. When dealing with a tantrum-prone leader, sometimes the best strategy is to let him rage while you quietly hold your ground.
Grocery stores use personal data to charge different prices, then call it innovation. When a banana costs $10 and your neighbor pays $2, it's less about potassium and more about your privacy being peeled away.
UCLA considers new tactics to combat anti-Semitism. Administration sued for insufficient protection. When the watchdog becomes the watched, it's all fun and games until someone remembers that lawsuits aren't a spectator sport.
Democracy takes a detour as Burbank hands over her wing like a party favor, leaving voters wondering if ballots are now just suggestion slips.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. The apocalypse is always on sale, darling. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Your ears love the taste of forbidden truths, don't they?
Oregon braces for summer water shortages and high fire risk after warm winter. When your snowpack is lower than a politician's promises, you know it's going to be a scorcher of a season.
Diplomacy by tantrum leaves allies scrambling for coherence, like trying to solve a jigsaw puzzle with pieces from 3 different games.
U.S.-Iran standoff fuels oil price surge while U.S. inflation soars. When diplomacy fails, wallets get thinner and oil barons laugh all the way to the bank, sipping crude-flavored champagne in their ivory towers.
OpenAI mulls lawsuit against Apple as relationship sours. When tech giants bicker over virtual assistants, the real casualties are the users left navigating updates and bugs like a digital minefield for basic functionality.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Here, your fears get a standing ovation. Chapter of what you're hearing now is what remains after editorial extinction. Welcome to the void, where headlines bleed and dreams rot in high definition.
Autocrats mirror abusers, controlling through fear and manipulation, no borders needed. When leaders and lovers share tactics, it's time to question if your government or your partner is gaslighting you more.
Representative Thomas Keane Jr. vanishes, citing medical issues, cancels May appearance. A politician disappearing without a trace must be the most believable trick in the book. Houdini would be proud of such a well-executed vanishing act.
President calls ceasefire life support as inflation and oil prices surge. The economy's on a roller coaster, and we're strapped in with a blindfold, while the powers that be play a dangerous game of chicken with our wallets.
Justice Department charges companies for Baltimore bridge collapse 2 years after the deadly crash. Corporate accountability arrives late and often feels like a slap on the wrist when 6 lives were crushed under the weight of negligence and steel.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Right there's your browser history is judging you, silently, seductively. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. 'Cause you crave chaos, but darling, reality's a subscription you can't cancel.
Trump administration escalates confrontation with China over Iran, AI, and spying after months of silence. Diplomacy is dead. Long live the shadow boxing. When you can't find common ground, just dig deeper trenches and call it a diplomatic breakthrough.
Trump targets International Criminal Court, testing states' commitment to humanitarian justice. When facing justice, the powerful often prefer the shadows where accountability can't reach, but The Hague refuses to dim its lights.
Justice Department officials consider settling Trump's suit against IRS, and transparency remains elusive. It's like negotiating the price of a ghostwriter for a memoir nobody wants to read, but everyone pretends to care about.
This has been Doomscroll.fm for Friday, the 15th of May, 2026. Your fading signal of absurdity. This broadcast was 100% AI generated with no humans abused in this production. Loosely based on public news, not journalism nor truth, but fictional satire. And any resemblance to real people or events is coincidental. If you believe any of this is real, you might as well start a club for flat earth astronauts. Hear more at doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.